Welcome to the Plain Books Podcast. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a book that isn't just, typical career advice. It's really a radical blueprint for navigating the future of work. Forget that outdated notion of a static 10-year plan. This book fundamentally argues that your career needs to operate like a dynamic, agile startup, constantly adapting, evolving, and most importantly, growing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're talking about Reid Hoffman and Ben Casnocha's seminal work, The Startup of You. Adapt to the future, invest in yourself, and transform your career. And it's a truly powerful shift in mindset.
It really is.
It challenges you, the listener, to see yourself as the CEO of You, Inc., and to grasp that our professional lives, well, they're no longer a calm, predictable lake. They're much more like a chaotic, ever-changing ocean.
A chaotic ocean, I like that.
Right. And what's truly fascinating here is how it redefines fundamental concepts we thought we understood, like networking, risk, even what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Okay, so let's unpack this together. Our mission today is to extract the most potent, the most transformative insights from this book. We want to explore how these entrepreneurial strategies can empower you.
Yeah.
Whether you were just starting out, maybe angling for your next big move, or even launching a brand new path later in life, we'll delve into the stories, the powerful quotes, and the practical challenges from the book that can genuinely enhance, maybe even revolutionize, your professional journey. So the book kicks off with this incredibly powerful, almost foundational insight. It states all humans are entrepreneurs, not because they should start companies, but because the will to create is encoded in human DNA, and creation is the essence of entrepreneurship.
That's powerful.
Yeah, this isn't just a guide for people wanting to, start a business. This is about rediscovering that innate creative instinct we all have to forge new careers, no matter if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, an artist, or an engineer.
Right.
It's about taking ownership of your professional destiny, adapting to the future, strategically expanding your network, gaining a crucial edge, and landing better, more fulfilling opportunities.
It's a profound reframing, isn't it? It's not just another job hunting manual focused on perfecting your resume or acing an interview.
No, not at all.
Instead, it's a foundational guide. It's about developing what the authors call startup mindsets and skill sets. They argue that society truly flourishes when individuals think entrepreneurially. It enables us to solve local and global problems faster by actively practicing these values.
That's a great point.
So the book frames it not just as a path to personal professional improvement, but really as a way to contribute to the betterment of the world around you, starting with each individual's capacity to create and adapt.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit unsettling for some listeners. The book makes a compelling, maybe even stark case that the traditional career path, what it vividly calls the escalator, is completely jammed. Many of us grew up with this old, comforting idea. You graduate, get a stable entry-level job, move steadily up the corporate ladder with promotions, raises, then retire comfortably after decades of loyalty.
The dream.
Exactly. That entire paradigm, the authors argue, is effectively gone. For almost 60 years, the job market for educated workers, it largely functioned like this metaphorical escalator, reliably whisking people up the hierarchy.
Yeah, with employer-sponsored training, clear professional development paths, increasing job security.
Right. Each step brought more power, more income, a sense of belonging, and eventually, a comfortable retirement. But that era, they warn, is just over.
Indeed. The book paints a truly vivid and, frankly, somewhat alarming picture of this escalator of job security being stuck at virtually every level.
Everywhere.
You see young, highly educated people, underemployed or even jobless, struggling to just get a foot on the first rung.
It's tough out there.
And simultaneously, you've got people in their 60s and 70s maybe facing depleted pensions, inadequate savings, a weakened safety net. They're staying in or rejoining the workforce in record numbers.
Which creates more pressure.
Exactly. It creates this deeply competitive, almost stepping on everybody else's scenario, as the political analyst Ronald Brownstein observed. And in this situation, it raises an absolutely critical question for you, the listener. If companies are no longer willing or able to invest significantly in your long-term development, who is responsible for it now?
Right. The onus shifts.
Completely. The traditional pact, lifetime employment for lifelong loyalty, it's fundamentally been replaced by a performance-based short-term contract, always up for renewal.
So loyalty changes too.
Precisely. Professional loyalty, the book suggests, now flows horizontally to your trusted network, not vertically to your boss or your company. That's a shift Dan Pink has highlighted too. And the profound implication here is that continuous skill development, proactive career planning, even your own professional training, it now falls entirely on you, the individual. Employers today, they expect you to be job ready on arrival or learn new skills with remarkable speed. It just underscores the urgency for relentless self-investment.
This radical shift in the world of work, it brings us directly to a core concept, one that underpins the entire book, the urgent necessity of permanent beta.
Permanent beta, love that term.
Me too. The book issues a stark warning against complacency. It cites things like 60 to 0 and Detroit's are everywhere as powerful cautionary tales. Detroit's auto industry failure, for instance, serves as a stark historical reminder.
Yeah, classic case.
Hubris, a catastrophic failure to recognize emerging competition from Japan, an unwillingness to take necessary risks, and just a pervasive inability to adapt.
Led to death by committee, as Ross Perot famously quipped with his snake analogy, right? Referring to that stifling bureaucracy.
Exactly. They clung to building bigger, gas-guzzling cars when customers desperately wanted fuel-efficient ones. They promoted based on seniority, not merit. They stubbornly clung to outdated practices. They simply weren't in beta.
And that inability to adapt, it can be absolutely fatal, not just for massive corporations, but for individual careers as well.
For sure.
I mean, consider the story of Reid Hastings, who founded Netflix. The inspiration famously struck after he got hit with a hefty late fee for a video rental.
We've all been there.
Right. He and his team adapted to eliminate those dreaded late fees, addressing a core customer pain point. Blockbuster, in contrast, famously dismissed Netflix's innovative approach. They even rejected a partnership offer that could have changed the course of both companies.
Wow, what a miss.
A huge miss. And it vividly illustrates this core idea of permanent beta. Keeping your career in permanent beta forces you to acknowledge that you have bugs, that there's new development to do on yourself, that you will need to adapt and evolve.
So it's about continuous improvement.
Exactly. It's a mindset overflowing with optimism. It celebrates your inherent power to continually improve yourself and, by extension, the world. Andy Hargadon from UC Davis makes this powerful, almost haunting point.
Oh, yeah.
He says, for many people, 20 years of experience is really 1 year of experience repeated 20 times.
Ouch. That hits home.
Doesn't it? Permanent beta ensures that each year is genuinely new and enriching because you are actively, deliberately learning and growing. You're not just existing, you're evolving.
So what does this all mean for us, personally? It really means embracing that philosophy from Shawshank Redemption.
Right.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
That's it.
If you're not actively growing, you are, by definition, contracting. If you're not intentionally moving forward, you're inevitably moving backward.
Yeah.
This isn't some temporary sprint. It's a lifelong commitment to continuous, deliberate personal and professional growth.
A marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And for you, our listener, we really want you to genuinely reflect on your own career right now. Are you repeating the same year, maybe comfortably but stagnantly? Or are you truly in permanent beta, actively accumulating new, enriching experiences and skills each year? What does your beta roadmap look like? Okay, building on that idea of constant, necessary evolution, the book then shifts to the critical task of crafting your competitive advantage. And it asks this blunt question. It might sting a little, but it's absolutely essential in today's globalized world.
Brace yourself.
It asks, 1,000 people overseas can do your job. What makes you so special?
Woo! Yeah, it's a sobering thought, but a crucial one for self-assessment. The book emphasizes that you are essentially selling your brain power, your skills, your energy in the market.
Your product, in a sense.
In a way, yes. And when employers or potential partners are sifting through countless applications or proposals, they are quickly overcome by the sameness.
Right. Everyone starts to look alike.
Exactly. To stand out, you need to be able to complete the sentence, a company hires me over other professionals because, with a clear, compelling differentiator.
You need that unique selling proposition.
Precisely. The book points to Zappos.com as a prime example of massive differentiation in action. They didn't just sell shoes, they built their entire brand on insanely good customer service.
Their reputation was legendary.
Totally. This included an unheard of 365-day return policy and free shipping on all returns, no questions asked. While competitors often buried their customer service numbers, Zappos proudly displayed a toll-free 1-800 number answered by local, unscripted employees empowered to genuinely help.
That's a huge difference.
Huge. They were first only faster, better, or cheaper in very specific customer-centric ways. And the key takeaway here is that you don't need to be the best at everything. You need to compete effectively in local contests, focusing on a specific niche.
Define your arena.
Yes. For instance, don't try to be the greatest marketing executive in the world. That's too broad. Instead, maybe aim to be the greatest marketing executive of small to mid-sized companies that compete in the healthcare industry. That focused approach allows you to develop a truly meaningful competitive advantage within a clearly defined market reality.
That's such a crucial point. Local contests.
Yeah.
Trying to be everything to everyone is just a recipe for being nothing to anyone.
Exactly. Dilutes your impact.
And to figure out your local competitive advantage, the book introduces this brilliant framework. It's like 3 dynamic puzzle pieces that constantly fit together and evolve throughout your career.
I love this part.
First, there are your assets, quite simply, what you have right now. And these aren't just monetary. They can be soft assets, like your unique knowledge, valuable information you possess, your professional connections, the trust you've built, diverse skills, your hard-earned reputation, and, of course, your personal brand.
Intangibles, but critical.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there are the hard assets, cash, stocks, physical possessions, stuff like that.
And the authors truly stress that your asset mix isn't static or fixed. It's something you actively, continuously strengthen by investing in yourself.
It's an ongoing project.
Always. If you perceive a lack of certain assets, maybe you don't have enough connections in a specific industry, or you lack a particular technical skill, that's not an excuse. It's a clear call to action to start deliberately developing them.
Turn weaknesses into action items.
Right. And importantly, even perceived weaknesses, like maybe inexperience early in your career, can be intelligently spun as strength, think, energy, enthusiasm, a hunger to hustle and learn.
Reframe it.
Exactly. And hard assets, like an economic cushion, are incredibly vital because they allow you to take more aggressive, potentially riskier moves. For example, having sufficient savings might allow you to take 6 months off to immerse yourself in learning a new in-demand programming language like Ruby, or maybe to volunteer for an unpaid project that promises immense learning. Gives you options.
Freedom to maneuver.
Okay.
The second puzzle piece, deeply intertwined with your assets, is your aspirations and values.
This is the why.
Exactly. This encompasses your deepest wishes, your guiding ideas, your overarching goals, your vision of the future, and your core values, things like the pursuit of knowledge, desire for autonomy, financial security, personal integrity, maybe even the drive for power and influence.
And they give great examples.
They do. Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter and Square, he consistently prizes design and simplicity. Those deeply held values profoundly shaped both of his incredibly successful companies. They allowed them to grow massively while maintaining his core priorities.
You see it in their products.
Totally. Twitter's minimalistic interface, Square's elegant, user-friendly payment device.
Right.
Similarly, Google's audacious mission to organize the world's information acted as a powerful pole star. It attracted top talent while being broad enough to allow for continuous reinvention and expansion into new areas.
Yeah, that mission statement is legendary.
Now, what's particularly insightful here, I think, is that the book pushes back against the somewhat romanticized idea of finding a singular true self through just pure introspection.
Right, like it's just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. Your identity, the authors argue, doesn't get found. It emerges dynamically through your actions, your choices, your real-world experiences. It's built, not discovered.
It's a truly critical distinction. It moves us from a passive search to active construction. Your aspirations and values, they aren't set in stone. They evolve as you gain more experience, as you learn about yourself, and as the world around you changes.
They're dynamic, too.
Absolutely. Ben Casnocha, one of the co-authors, notes that he personally values intellectual stimulation and changing lives through entrepreneurship and writing, even while he's still actively figuring out the specific ways to manifest those values.
Still iterating.
Always. Chris. Yeah, another entrepreneur mentioned has a mission to help interesting people do interesting things. A flexible yet clear pole star. Reid Hoffman's own guiding ambition is to design and build human ecosystems using entrepreneurship, technology, and finance.
Wow. Big goals.
Right. These aren't static, predefined destinies. They're evolving guides for action, constantly interacting with the final puzzle piece, market realities.
The real world.
Exactly. The industries, the geographic places, the people, the companies that currently have momentum. And the core uncompromising idea here is that Markets that don't exist don't care how smart you are.
Oof. Brutal honesty.
It is. You aren't entitled to anything. You need to proactively find where people will actually pay for your unique services or skills. Put yourself in a position to ride these waves, as they say, whether it's the Chinese economy back then or maybe green products today. Find the momentum.
What's truly fascinating here is how the authors themselves really exemplify this dynamic framework.
Yeah.
Reid Hoffman, before he became the tech titan we know today, actually started as an academic, deeply passionate about identity and community.
Yeah, his background is surprising to some.
He then strategically found a way to apply those fundamental interests to the nascent social web and online networks, eventually leading him to co-found LinkedIn. He openly shares how, for a long time, the world of business wasn't even among his primary assets or aspirations.
He was into philosophy, cognitive science.
Right, initially planning an academic career. But through experience, he realized that achieving product market fit was absolutely key for impact, not just, say, user experience alone.
Yeah.
This realization prompted a pivot, a strategic reevaluation of his assets and aspirations in light of market realities.
Precisely. His journey wasn't about abandoning his core aspirations, not at all. It was about intelligently finding a local environment, Silicon Valley, where his unique blend of interests and experiences gave him a meaningful competitive advantage.
Location, 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 but for skills.
Kind of. He notes, and this is a key quote, his significant operating experience at scale differentiates me from other VCs with finance backgrounds or limited operational backgrounds. This powerfully illustrates the principle that all advantages are local.
Okay, explain that more.
Well, you can certainly strive to improve your assets, always be learning, but sometimes the smarter move is to place yourself in a niche or an environment where your existing assets simply shine brighter and are more valued.
Like the basketball player example.
Exactly. American college basketball players who aren't quite good enough for the NBA but go on to become highly paid, celebrated stars in European leagues. They didn't fundamentally change their skills overnight. They changed their local environment, their market reality.
Found the right pond.
Found the right pond. LinkedIn itself differentiated from early competitors by centering on the individual professional, recognizing that individuals should own and manage their own professional identities online.
Yeah, that was key.
And consider Matt Kohler. He excelled as a consigliere, sort of a right-hand person to CEOs at LinkedIn and Facebook, precisely because it was a less competitive, high-opportunity role for someone with his unique talent who wasn't driven to be the public frontman.
Yeah.
He identified a niche where his specific assets were exceptionally valuable.
Finding that unique fit. These are such actionable, real-world insights, aren't they? And the book doesn't just give you the ideas. It explicitly challenges you to put them into practice.
Yeah, the challenges are great.
So for you, our listener, here are some powerful challenges directly inspired by the books in the next week's section, designed to help you start crafting your own competitive advantage.
All right, let's hear them.
First, we challenge you to identify 3 people who are striving towards similar aspirations as your own. Use them as benchmarks. What are their unique differentiators? How did they get there? Actively track their professional evolution for inspiration and learning.
Good exercise. Competitive analysis for yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
Second, take some time to write down some of your key assets, but do it in the context of a specific market reality. Don't just say, I excel at public speaking.
Too vague.
Right. Instead, make it sharp and specific. I excel at public speaking on complex engineering topics relative to how good most engineers are at public speaking. This immediately highlights your unique value proposition.
Nice. Context matters.
And looking a bit further ahead for the In the Next Month challenge, we encourage you to review your calendar, your journals, even old emails to see how you spent your last 6 Saturdays.
Where does your free time really go?
Exactly. What do you do when you have nothing urgent pressing on you? How you truly spend your free time can reveal so much about your genuine interests and aspirations. Compare them to what you say your aspirations are. This exercise can be incredibly revealing about your true priorities.
The truth is in the calendar sometimes.
Definitely. And finally, for this section, create a soft asset investment plan. It should explicitly emphasize learning about growth markets and emerging opportunities. Maybe this means planning a trip to an industry hotspot, attending a cutting-edge conference on, say, clean technology, or signing up for a specific software programming course.
Be intentional about learning.
Yes. And once you have that plan, email it to 3 trusted connections and explicitly ask them to hold you accountable. And don't forget to budget money to pay for these investments in yourself. Just as a startup, budgets for R&D. Moving on. The book takes on conventional career wisdom with this refreshing, almost provocative directness. It directly critiques bestsellers many of us grew up with, books like What Color is Your Parachute? Or Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah, takes aim at the classics.
It does, particularly for their passion first, job hunt later, and begin with the end in mind approaches. This static worldview, the authors argue, is not just outdated, but genuinely dangerous in today's chaotic ocean of a career landscape.
And they have a profoundly strong point, I think. These older philosophies, while they certainly have strength, like encouraging aspirations and long-term commitment, they often implicitly presume a static world,
Yeah.
a linear progression.
Which we know isn't true anymore.
Right. But as we discussed, our career landscape is anything but static. Deciding precisely where you want to be in 10 years and then formulating a rigid, inflexible plan only works if the external environment, your internal self, your allies, and your competitors all remain unchanging.
Fat chance of that.
Exactly. It's like trying to cross a calm lake in a perfectly charted boat when in reality, you're navigating a chaotic, unpredictable ocean. This static career planning can be severely limiting, even dangerous in times of intense uncertainty and rapid change.
The flexibility is key.
Absolutely. Sheryl Sandberg's incredible career shifting from the public sector to helping build Google's online sales from like 4 people to thousands, and then leading Facebook as COO, it was a testament to dynamic adaptation, not some bulletproof life plan.
She's a great example.
She famously says, "The reason I don't have a plan is because if I have a plan, I'm limited to today's options." She evaluated new opportunities as they arose, constantly growing her assets without ever losing sight of what mattered to her.
Responding to reality.
Yes. This zig and zag approach, you see it in diverse figures like Bill Clinton, Tony Blair, even Jerry Springer or the opera singer Andrea Bocelli. It powerfully reinforces the idea that winning careers, like winning startups, are truly in permanent beta. They adapt, they pivot, they evolve.
That dynamic, responsive approach leads us directly to the book's highly practical and incredibly powerful ABZ planning framework.
This is one of my favorite parts. So useful.
It starts with some core principles, some foundational truths for navigating an uncertain future. First, prioritize learning. Just as deferring full-time wages for an education, sometimes for many years, typically pays off massively in the long run, the book argues that prioritizing career plans that offer the absolute best chance at learning about yourself and the world, thereby growing your soft assets fastest, will maximize your long-term success. It's an investment in your future adaptability.
It's about asking a different set of questions, really. Not just what pays the most now, but which plan will grow my soft assets the fastest? Or which plan offers the most learning potential and exposure?
Shifting the focus.
Yeah. Far too many professionals, unfortunately, stop focused, intentional learning after college. They prioritize hard assets like an immediate, higher cash salary over invaluable soft assets like lessons learned, new skills, or a broadened network. This, the authors argue, is a critical mistake.
Short-term gain versus long-term growth.
Exactly. The second principle is learn by doing. Actions, not just passive plans or abstract thoughts, are what truly generate lessons. You absolutely need to test your hypotheses against reality.
Get your hands dirty.
Right. Not sure if you can break into the notoriously competitive pharmaceutical industry. Don't just ponder it. Spend 6 months interning at Pfizer, even if it's not your dream role, just to test the waters. Curious about marketing, but you're in engineering. Offer to help out for free in the marketing department within your own company for a few hours a week. These small experimental actions help you discover your true path and what truly resonates.
Okay, third principle, and this is vital for mitigating risk. Make reversible, small bets.
Small bets. Key phrase.
Occasional missteps are not just to be expected. They are a necessary part of the error aspect of trial and error. But these errors don't need to be permanent or catastrophic. A good plan A is designed to minimize the cost of failure.
Don't bet the farm.
Exactly. Don't bet the farm on any single move. Iterate bit by bit. Learn experience by experience. Start with a trial period. Keep your day job while exploring a side hustle. This framework embraces recoverable failure as long as it generates real, actionable lessons, helping you course correct without derailing your entire career.
Learning from mistakes, basically.
Right. And finally, think 2 steps ahead. Lunging at immediate gratification, chasing every shiny object, won't build a meaningful, resilient career. But conversely, don't think too far ahead, because you, the world, and the competitive landscape will inevitably change in unpredictable ways.
Find that sweet spot.
Yeah. Thinking roughly 2 steps ahead allows for crucial agility. It provides enough foresight without rigid commitment to a distant, potentially obsolete future.
This iterative approach is perfectly illustrated by the book's core concept of Plan A. Almost ready. Aim, fire, aim, fire.
Love that. Not ready, aim, fire. Almost ready.
Exactly. Think about the incredible story of PayPal. It didn't start as the online payment giant we know today. It began life as Confinity, a portmanteau, actually, of confidence and infinity, and was initially conceived as a digital wallet for Palm Pilots.
Wow, Palm Pilots. Blast from the past.
Right. Allowing users to send encrypted digital cash between devices. Founders Max Levchin and Peter Thiel leveraged their complementary tech and finance assets to launch this innovative idea. But when Palm Pilots didn't catch on with the mass market as quickly as they hoped, they didn't just give up.
They iterated.
They observed user behavior, saw an unmet need, and swiftly developed an online payment transfer service for anyone with an email address, adding critical credit card processing capabilities. That, of course, is the PayPal we know today. It was a perfect example of evolving Plan A based on real-time market realities and user feedback.
Adapting on the fly.
And Reid Hoffman himself did this at Apple. He realized that product market fit was far more crucial than just user experience alone. To gain product management experience, a skill he lacked but knew he needed, he offered to write product ideas for free on the side, outside his official duties.
A small bet within his job.
Exactly. A small, reversible bet that paid off, allowing him to transition into a new, more strategic role without quitting his job first. That was his Plan A1.
Okay, so that's Plan A. What about when you need a bigger shift? That brings us to Plan B, the adjacent niche.
Right. The book says the absolute best Plan B is different, but very much related to what you're already doing. The genius here is that you keep one foot firmly planted in your current expertise and network, while the other swings to new related territory.
Leverage what you have.
Precisely. Consider the remarkable story of James Gaines, a seasoned magazine editor who, at 61, didn't retire. Instead, he pivoted to become editor-in-chief of Flip, an online multimedia magazine.
Wow, at 61. That's impressive.
Isn't it? He embraced the entirely new digital canvas learning, video editing, audio production, databases from subordinates decades as junior, without losing sight of his fundamental competitive advantage in storytelling and journalism. He was, in essence, operating in permanent beta, even at a stage when many people wind down.
Never stop learning.
Never. Flickr, too, started as an online multiplayer game before the founders observed user behavior and smartly pivoted to photo sharing, an adjacent niche that just exploded.
Amazing pivot.
Reid Hoffman's academic pursuits transitioned to building professional networks with LinkedIn. Sheryl Sandberg's deep interest in social justice found new, powerful expression at Facebook. There are even services like Your Dream Job that specifically let you test drive roles in industries without irreversible commitment. A brilliant way to explore potential Plan Bs without risking everything.
Try before you buy. Career edition.
Pretty much. And then as the ultimate safety net, you have Plan Z, jump on your lifeboat and regroup.
Your emergency plan.
Yeah, but this isn't a plan for failure in the catastrophic sense. It's your absolute safety net, a lifeboat for retreat, for regrouping, and then for developing an entirely new Plan A. Crucially, it's not an endpoint.
Just a pause.
Exactly. Plan Z will vary significantly by life stage. In your 20s, it might mean getting a flexible job at Starbucks and moving back in with your parents for a short period to save money and rethink. In your 30s or 40s, it might mean cashing in a 401k to buy yourself time.
Different resources, different plans.
Right. The crucial point is that invoking Plan Z allows you to retreat responsibly, to regroup, to stabilize, and then to relaunch yourself on a brand new voyage, a brand new Plan A. Rather than being stuck in an untenable situation or trapped in a career you despise, it's about having a sustainable fallback that allows you to remain in the game, to live, to fight another day, rather than being forced out entirely.
These frameworks, the ABZ approach, they really make career planning feel much more manageable, less daunting, and far more dynamic, don't they?
Totally. Less pressure to have it all figured out.
Exactly. It's like having a startup's agile strategy for your own professional life. And now, for you, our listener, here are some challenges directly from the book to help you immediately start applying this powerful ABZ thinking to your own career.
Okay, action time.
In the next day, just one day, we challenge you to list your key uncertainties, your doubts, your pressing questions about your career at this very moment. What hypotheses are you developing around these? Also, take a moment to clearly write out your current Plan A and your Plan Z, and then just jot down notes about what possible Plan B moves might be available in your current situation. This simple act of writing it down brings immense clarity.
Get it out of your head and onto paper.
Precisely. Then in the next week, schedule a coffee meeting, virtual or in person, with someone who used to work in your industry or, even better, in an adjacent niche. Compare your career plans and ideas with theirs, listen to their insights, and make a conscious effort to maintain these relationships over time. They could be invaluable bridges to your plan B. Okay, moving beyond personal planning, the book reveals this profound, almost countercultural truth about success. It takes a network, or as the authors brilliantly put it, I-we in action.
I love that framing.
Me too. This concept fundamentally challenges the ingrained hero-obsessed culture and the pervasive myth of the self-made man. It argues, with compelling evidence, that nothing important in life is done alone.
It's a truly crucial reframe, isn't it? We often tell these captivating stories of singular genius and isolated achievement, like the legendary Jack Welch at GE or something.
The lone wolf narrative.
Yeah, but we often neglect to acknowledge the immense teams, mentors, and networks that surround and support them. Think about Benjamin Franklin. He's widely remembered as the quintessential self-made man, right?
Absolutely, the archetype.
But his extraordinary success was deeply intertwined with powerful networks like the Junto Club. This club, a private forum for brainstorming and mutual improvement, generated groundbreaking ideas like the first public library in the University of Pennsylvania.
Wow, didn't realize the club was that influential.
Hugely. Franklin himself firmly believed that intentionally bringing smart, curious people together in a relaxed, collaborative atmosphere fostered an incredible flow of opportunities. These networks, the book argues, provide essential resources, unlock unforeseen opportunities, act as vital gatekeepers, often promoting individuals based on their fit and contribution to a team, and profoundly shape who you become, as behaviors and beliefs are inherently contagious within social groups.
So your network shapes you.
Absolutely. The old saying, there is no I in team, is actually misleading, they argue. There is an I in team. Your individual talent is absolutely necessary, but never sufficient. It's the dynamic interplay with others, the we, that leads to truly significant and sustainable achievement. Hence, I-we.
That insight raises an important question for all of us listening.
Yeah.
Are you just networking, or are you truly building genuine relationships?
Big difference.
Huge. The book highlights a crucial distinction here. Networkers, they suggest, often focus on sheer quantity, thinking primarily about what others can do for them, and typically reaching out only when they explicitly need something.
The transactional approach.
Exactly. Relationship builders, on the other hand, prioritize quality over quantity. They consistently try to help others first without keeping score, and think about nurturing these connections all the time, not just when a need arises.
Playing the long game.
Right. And the book also introduces the powerful fun factor. If relationship building feels like a chore, an obligation, you'll inevitably operate transactionally. It suggests deliberately thinking about happy memories which almost invariably involve others to embrace the inherent fun and joy in genuine human connection. That mindset shift is key.
That's a great tip. Make it enjoyable. The book then really delves into the structure and strength of your network, offering a nuanced view beyond just, a list of contacts. It focuses on two key types of professional relationships.
Oh.
First, professional allies. These are the people you consult regularly for critical advice, proactively share opportunities with, confidently talk up to others in your circle, fiercely defend when times get tough, and with whom you have truly explicit mutual bonds of trust and support.
Your inner circle.
Your inner circle. Powerful examples include chefs Susan Feniger and Mary Sue Milliken, or producers Ron Howard and Brian Grazer. They've successfully navigated intensely competitive spaces with mutual respect and continuous collaboration.
Strong partnerships.
Exactly. Second, and equally vital, are weak ties and acquaintances. These connections are absolutely crucial because they serve as powerful bridges to other worlds. They expose you to new information, novel perspectives, or job opportunities you simply haven't seen within your immediate, closer circle.
People outside your bubble.
Precisely. While Malcolm Gladwell's interpretation of sociologist Mark Granovetter's seminal work on the strength of weak ties and the tipping point is sometimes seen as oversimplified, the core idea remains incredibly potent. Diverse weak ties are immensely valuable, especially during career transitions, because they connect you to disparate, often unique information that your strong ties might not possess.
Makes sense. Your closest friends probably know the same things you do.
Right. Your acquaintances know different things. They operate in different circles.
And what's truly mind-boggling is that your network is actually far bigger than you think. The book explains the incredible reach of your extended social network. second and third degree connections.
The Kevin Bacon effect for careers?
Kind of. Psychologist Stanley Milgram's famous 1967 Six Degrees of Separation study and Duncan Watts' more recent 2001 global study both confirmed a median distance of typically 5 to 7 degrees separating any two people on the planet.
It's a small world after all.
It really is. And what's even more powerful and directly applicable to your career is the sheer scale this implies. A person with just 170 LinkedIn connections, which isn't a huge number these days, is actually at the center of a professional network of more than 2 million people strong.
2 million! That's incredible leverage.
Think about that for a moment. Consider the story of Frank Hannigan, a software entrepreneur in Ireland. He leveraged this power to raise over $200,000 in funding in just 8 days, simply by reaching out to his first and second degree LinkedIn connections. This isn't just theory. This is the tangible, actionable power of your extended network in action.
Wow, that's proof right there. This latent power is unlocked, as the authors stress, by intelligently making the ask. Anytime you want to meet a new person in your extended network, you should always, always ask for an introduction through a mutual connection.
Warm intros are key.
Absolutely. It's not about cold calling. It's about leveraging existing trust. But here's the crucial caveat. You need to provide your mutual connection with a compelling reason why the introduction makes sense, and clearly explain how you intend to help the person you want to connect with, or at the very least, ensure it won't be a waste of their valuable time. Make it easy for them to say yes.
Reduce the friction.
Exactly. Reid Hoffman, as a venture capitalist, famously only funds companies referred by his trusted network. Precisely because that referral has already provided a layer of vetting and credibility, allowing him to move quickly and confidently. If you're not actively receiving or making at least one introduction a month, the book suggests you're probably not fully engaging the immense potential of your extended professional network.
That's a good benchmark. One intro a month. So given all this, what does the best professional network actually look like? The book suggests it's not simply a large number of contacts, but rather an optimal blend of cohesion and diversity.
The best of both worlds.
Right. Sociologist Brian Uzi's fascinating study of successful Broadway musicals found that the most acclaimed productions had a healthy balance. Some pre-existing relationships providing strong ties for trust, shared language, efficient collaboration combined with new blood, offering weak ties for fresh creative insights and novel perspectives.
Interesting study.
Yeah. Productions with only strong ties often lacked creativity and innovation. Those with only weak ties suffered from poor teamwork and execution. Similarly, the Grand Bank, known for its microloans, fosters strong internal ties within small microloan groups for trust and mutual accountability, but then connects these groups via weaker ties to other groups for creative problem-solving and knowledge sharing. This optimal blend generates both deep trust and innovative solutions.
Makes perfect sense.
As a listener, you can think of your network this way. When you're young and exploring, maybe more weaker connections in disparate fields are especially valuable for exposure. When you're mid-career or mid-flight, you might want to strategically shore up alliances and make deeper connections in certain niche areas to consolidate your expertise and influence.
Tailor it to your stage. To further strengthen and maintain your network, the book offers incredibly practical, actionable advice. The best way to initiate and strengthen a relationship, they say, is to jumpstart the long-term process of give and take.
Lead with value.
Lead with value. A fantastic example is Kevin Rose, the tech entrepreneur. Although Jack Dorsey Square didn't need investors at the time, Rose proactively created a high-definition video demo for their new product, asking for absolutely nothing in return.
Just gave it to them.
Just gave it to them. Dorsey was so impressed by this generous, unsolicited contribution that he later invited Rose to invest in Square's full series around. It demonstrates the power of leading with value. You don't need to be powerful or wealthy to help. Everyone can offer support or valuable feedback. Small gestures matter. They really do. The secret behind stellar small gifts, like relevant information, thoughtful articles, timely introductions, genuinely helpful advice, is that it's something you can uniquely provide. And importantly, the book highlights, let yourself be helped.
That can be hard for some people.
It can, but Benjamin Franklin famously observed, if you want to make a friend, let someone do you a favor. Accept help graciously. It actually strengthens the bond, fostering a sense of reciprocity and trust. Don't always be the giver.
Good point. It's also absolutely critical to stay in touch and top of mind. Nobody enjoys receiving that out-of-the-blue email from someone they haven't spoken to in years, only to find out they're just reaching out because they suddenly need something.
The worst. Feels totally transactional.
Totally. Regular, thoughtful interaction keeps you genuinely top of mind for opportunities. Don't worry about nagging if you follow up politely. Emails often get buried. Try to add value beyond a generic greeting. Maybe send a relevant news article. Make a thoughtful introduction. Recommend a candidate.
Provide value even when just checking in.
Right. If you're worried about seeming too personal when reconnecting with an old acquaintance, you can couch initial reconnects as a mass action. Like, hey, I'm trying to reconnect with old classmates and thought of you. And remember, the book wisely notes, one lunch is worth dozens of emails.
So true. FaceTime matters.
Definitely. Social media, LinkedIn for professional, Facebook for personal, Twitter for a blend, also allows for passive, one-to-many updates that maintain connection and awareness. The authors also advise on navigating status dynamics. Be highly conscientious.
Important social intelligence.
Very. If you're meeting someone of higher status, the meeting location should always be convenient for them. Tardiness implies, my time is more valuable than yours, which is offensive. And unsolicited advice can be deeply offensive to peers. Awareness and respect are key.
Basic etiquette, but often overlooked. Finally, the book wisely addresses when to let go. Some relationships, quite naturally, will fade as people change, move geographically, pursue different paths.
It happened.
It does. And it's perfectly okay to let those relationships go without feeling the need for a full-on breakup or some dramatic confrontation. This frees up your precious time and energy for new, more aligned friendships and connections.
Pruning the garden, so to speak.
Exactly. Unlike romantic relationships where trust can be irrevocably broken, professional trust can often endure, and rekindling is entirely possible later on when lives align again. It's about making space on your relationship hard drive for new, vibrant connections.
Okay, for you, our listener, here are some IWE challenges directly from the book, designed to help you immediately start strengthening your professional network.
Let's do it.
In the next day, reactivate an old relationship. Just pick one. Dive right back in, perhaps with a sheepish but sincere note, like, hey, it's been too long and I was thinking of you. Keep it simple.
Break the ice.
Exactly. In the next week, think about someone in your network you genuinely want to help. What are their challenges or current goals? How can you offer a small, unique gift? Perhaps a piece of valuable information, a strategic introduction, or some well-considered advice. Make it about them, not you.
Pay it forward.
Yes. And for building your network intelligence, reach out to 5 people who work in adjacent niches to your own. Ask them to coffee or for a virtual chat. Compare your plans with theirs, actively listen to their perspectives, and make a conscious effort to keep up these relationships. They could provide diverse information and prepare you for potential pivots down the road. This emphasis on dynamic relationships, assets, agile planning, it really underpins the next critical area the book delves into, pursuing breakout opportunities.
Where the magic happens.
Right. The book posits that careers, much like successful startups, are punctuated by these breakouts, unusually consequential opportunities that lead to rapid exponential growth, not just slow and steady progress.
That's precisely right. The traditional resume or even a LinkedIn profile often presents this misleadingly linear, almost preordained progression of jobs.
Looks neat and tidy.
Too tidy. But in reality, our professional lives are not a sequence of equally important roles. There are always pivotal projects, serendipitous connections, specific experiences, and yes, undeniable strokes of luck that lead to unusually rapid career growth.
Those inflection points.
Exactly. Take the phenomenal story of Groupon. It started as The Point, a website dedicated to social and civic causes. But founder Andrew Mason, in true permanent beta fashion, noticed users were most engaged when they banded together to increase their collective buying power.
Saw a pattern.
Saw an unmet market need, pivoted with remarkable speed, and in a matter of weeks built a new site that offered group discounts, massively accelerating its growth into the multi-billion-dollar company it became.
Incredible pivot.
Similarly, George Clooney struggled for 12 years in Hollywood, largely landing B-list TV roles. His true breakout came in 1994 when he fiercely hustled for the ER role, recognizing its immense potential to catapult his career to new heights.
He really wanted that part.
He did. He personally called the executive producer, told him he wasn't letting anyone else get the part, and landed an audition that quite literally changed his life. These are not incremental steps, they are strategic leaps.
So how do you proactively find and generate these elusive breakout opportunities rather than just waiting for them to appear. The book offers several actionable strategies.
Okay, how do we get lucky?
Well, first and fundamentally, cultivate a mind on fire. Be curious. Cultivate an intense, insatiable curiosity about the world around you, about new trends, about how things work.
Stay curious. Foundational.
Second, actively court serendipity and good randomness. As entrepreneur Bo Peabody sagely advises, quote, "The best way to ensure that lucky things happen is to make sure a lot of things happen."
Increase your surface area for luck.
Exactly. This means deliberately extending a trip by a day to meet friends of friends, going to a dinner party where you know absolutely no one, or picking up an unusual magazine that's outside your normal reading habits. While you certainly don't want motion in literally any direction backpacking around Darfur for randomness the wrong sort, as the book humorously notes, you want to be open-minded but strategic in your movements and interactions.
Smart randomness.
Right. Benjamin Franklin's Gento Club, by intentionally gathering smart people in a relaxed atmosphere, effectively designed its own serendipity, leading to epic-making ideas like the first public library and the University of Pennsylvania. Paul Harris, in search of both clients and companionship, founded Rotary for business people to help each other, which is now a global network of over 1.2 million members, all stemming from that initial intentional gathering.
Designing serendipity. I like that. Connecting to human networks, then, is absolutely paramount in generating these opportunities. Groups and associations like PTAs, vibrant alumni networks, local book clubs, industry conferences, platforms like meetup.com, they significantly increase the flow of potential opportunities.
More connections, more chances.
Right. As Scott Heiferman, Meetup CEO, puts it, DIY is becoming GIO, do it ourselves. We are actively building our own communities. Chris Sacca, the VC, famously, as an out-of-work attorney, created a fake consulting firm called Salinger Group, complete with business cards and a website just to boost his credibility at tech events.
Oh, way. That's bold.
Totally bold. And it eventually landed him an executive job at a major web infrastructure company. Talk about hustling to court serendipity. And consider the legendary PayPal Mafia, an alumni network that, post-acquisition, stayed incredibly connected, investing in one another's burgeoning companies and collaborating informally.
That network is famous.
And valuable networks like the PayPal Mafia share key characteristics. They consist of high-quality people, share a common bond or ethos, cultivate an ethos of sharing and cooperation, and often benefit from geographic density. The book advises a potent strategy. The only thing better than joining groups is starting your own. Take the initiative to create your own mafia.
Build your own Junko Club. Third, and this is where true entrepreneurial spirit shines, do the hustle. When your back is truly against the wall, when resources are scarce, hustle is identified as the single most entrepreneurial strategy. It's about extreme resourcefulness and relentless effort in action.
Gotta have hustle.
Think of Mary Sue Milliken, one of the Two Hot Tamales chefs. To get a job at a fancy Chicago restaurant early in her career, she wrote the owner every few days until she was finally hired. And then, on her first day, she showed up at 5:30 a.m. for an 8 a.m. job, demonstrating an unparalleled eagerness.
That's dedication. That's hustle.
Totally. When the Airbnb founders were completely broke, on the verge of failure, they didn't give up. They sold custom-designed, politically themed cereal boxes, Obama O's, Cat McCain's for $40 a pop.
Cereal boxes. Seriously.
Seriously, they netted $20,000, which literally bought them time to scale their business. That's hustle. It even reminds me of Jeff Bezos when looking for a wife, saying he wanted a woman who could help me get out of a third-world prison.
Uh-huh. That's quite the criteria.
Right. But this quote, though humorous, perfectly highlights the kind of extreme resourcefulness and unwavering resilience that true hustle embodies.
And this relentless hustle leads us directly to the next critical quality. Be resilient. The sheer ability to persist through crushing adversity. The story of Tim Westergren and Pandora is almost mythical in its tale of struggle.
Oh yeah, Pandora's early days were rough.
Incredibly rough. They battled for 9 long years, facing countless lawsuits, eviction notices, former employees suing for deferred salaries, and a staggering 1,000% increase in operating costs from the Copyright Royalty Board.
1,000% increase.
Can you imagine? They literally begged employees to work unpaid, endured incredible financial hardship, and pitched venture capitalists over 300 times before eventually succeeding. Their users even mobilized to lobby Congress to fight unfavorable legislation.
That's amazing user loyalty.
It is, and what's particularly fascinating here, and a core insight from the book, is that constraints can actually enhance resourcefulness and creativity. As Flickr co-founder Katerina Fake notes, the less money you have, the fewer people and resources you have, the more creative you have to become. Hustle and resilience are not just innate traits, they are forged in these fires of constraint and challenge.
Necessity is the mother of invention and resilience. Finally, to truly seize these breakout opportunities, you must be prepared to seize opportunities. They almost never fit your schedule.
They arrive inconveniently.
Always. Think about Reid Hoffman again.
Ah.
After PayPal's acquisition, he had planned a well-deserved year off. But during a 2-week vacation, he realized there was a rapidly closing market window he simply couldn't afford to miss for a new consumer internet company focused on professional networking.
No rest for the wicked or the entrepreneurial.
Pretty much. He recognized the right market conditions, with many potential competitors scarred from the dot-com bust, and he leveraged his exceptionally strong network to quickly launch LinkedIn in 2003. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. He created it by recognizing and acting on a fleeting opportunity.
Carpe diem. Seize the day, seize the opportunity.
Exactly. Now, for you, our listener, here are some actionable challenges from the book to help you actively pursue and generate breakout opportunities in your own career.
More homework. Good stuff.
In the next month, consider starting your own group or association, maybe a regular luncheon or a one-time meetup to share ideas and resources around a specific topic or industry. You can use platforms like LinkedIn groups or even a simple wiki to organize it and bring people together.
Be the convener.
Be the convener. Also, make it a habit to subscribe to forward-looking magazines like Wired or MIT Technology Review to glimpse what's next on the horizon.
Yeah.
Beyond that, identify friends who are early technology adopters or thought leaders in their fields and actively engage with them to understand how emerging trends might create new, unexpected opportunities.
Keep your finger on the pulse.
Right. And for network intelligence, have an explicit, direct conversation with your trusted allies about how you can collectively collaborate on finding, generating, and exploiting great opportunities. Make a pact. Tell them you'll actively try to involve them if you come across something good and encourage them to do the same for you.
Team up to find breakouts. Smart.
Okay, a truly crucial part of entrepreneurial success, the book powerfully argues, is taking intelligent risks. Risk isn't some dreaded enemy to be avoided at all costs.
Not the boogeyman.
No, it's a permanent, unavoidable part of life and an absolute prerequisite for seizing those breakout opportunities we just discussed. As the authors put it, where others see a red light, you'll see green.
Yeah, reframing risk. What's truly fascinating here is how most people fundamentally overrate risk, often allowing it to paralyze them.
Fear takes over.
Exactly. Neuropsychologist Rick Hansen explains that our brains are, unfortunately, wired with a negativity bias. We're predisposed to overestimate threats and underestimate the opportunities and our own resources to deal with them.
Our caveman brain protecting us, maybe too much.
Pretty much. This means one stern warning makes a far stronger impression than a dozen glowing recommendations. Anxiety often overpowers optimism, even when the odds are actually in our favor. To lead a vigorous, proactive life, you must actively work to overcome this inherent bias, constantly reminding yourself that the downside is probably not as bad or as likely as it seems in your anxious mind.
So how do we intelligently assess and manage risk, rather than just reacting emotionally to it? The book offers some key questions, simple yet profound.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, and this is what high-level executives routinely ask according to Zer Shapira's study, is the worst-case scenario tolerable or intolerable?
Simple but powerful.
Right. They don't use complex decision trees. They simply ask if they can genuinely tolerate the absolute worst outcome. If the worst means a serious tarnishing of your reputation, the loss of all your economic assets, or a career-ending event, well, the answer is clear. Don't accept that risk.
Avoid catastrophic failure.
Absolutely. But if the worst case means getting fired from a job you don't love, losing a little money, or experiencing some discomfort, and you have a solid plan Z in place, then you're still in the game. In those cases, you should be far more open to taking that intelligent risk.
Makes sense. What's next?
Second, always ask, can you change or reverse the decision midway? Is Plan B genuinely doable? Pre-committing for long, irreversible periods, like 4 years for business school, followed by an inflexible job path, is inherently riskier.
Less wiggle room.
Exactly. Michael Dell, when famously starting Dell Computer, didn't drop out of college permanently. He took a leave of absence. This preserved his option to return if the company failed, brilliantly preserving his Plan B.
Smart move. Kept his options open.
Third, and this is a critical distinction, don't conflate uncertainty with risk. Uncertainty is certainly an ingredient of risk, but it is not automatically risky in itself.
Okay, unpack that.
Well, vacationing in Hawaii with absolutely no itinerary has a high degree of uncertainty about how your days will unfold, but it isn't inherently risky in a dangerous sense.
Right, low stakes uncertainty.
Exactly. Sheryl Sandberg's move to Google involved immense uncertainty about a new, rapidly evolving industry. But it wasn't necessarily a risk in the dire sense that would prevent her from pursuing a massive breakout opportunity. Don't let the discomfort of the unknown prevent you from pursuing big, potentially transformative opportunities. Fourth, consider age and stage.
The context of your life.
Right. Generally, the younger you are, the lower the downside consequences of failure. You simply have more time to recover, both financially and reputationally, and typically fewer dependents relying solely on you. This powerfully suggests being more aggressive with career risk when you're young, when the cost of failure is comparatively lower.
Take bigger swings early on. This all leads to a truly powerful, almost contrarian strategy. Pursue opportunities where others misperceive the risk.
Find the arbitrage.
Exactly. Be contrarian and right, like the legendary investor Warren Buffett who buys stocks cheap when others are fearful. Look for opportunities where the actual risk is lower than your peers think, but the potential reward is still high.
What kind of opportunities?
Well, it could include jobs that initially pay less cash but offer tremendous learning, prioritizing soft assets over immediate hard ones. Or it might involve embracing part-time or contract gigs that are seen by others as less stable, but actually offer invaluable flexibility and diverse experience. These roles are often dismissed by others, giving you a competitive edge precisely because you've accurately assessed the risk while they have misperceived it.
See value where others don't.
Right. And what's truly counterintuitive, and perhaps one of the most profound insights of the book, is the paradox that short-term risk increases long-term stability.
Okay, that sounds backward. Explain.
It does sound contradictory, doesn't it? But Nassim Nicholas Taleb's black swan concept, which describes unpredictable, high-impact events and lessons from complex political systems, powerfully illustrate this. Italy's continuous political turmoil, for example, with its frequent government changes, makes it surprisingly resilient to dangerous, devastating chaos.
How so?
It absorbs small, controlled burns constantly, clearing away political underbrush and making it less vulnerable to a larger, uncontrollable fire. In stark contrast, seemingly stable dictatorships with their rigid, unchanging structures are actually far more vulnerable to sudden, devastating chaos when a black swan event hits.
Wow. Stability can be fragile.
Exactly. And the same counterintuitive principle applies profoundly to careers. Careers deemed non-risky, like many in government, education, traditional engineering, established healthcare roles often offer an illusion of stability. Yeah. Compare a government worker with a steady paycheck and a rigid career path to an independent real estate agent who constantly hustles, adapts, and builds new client relationships. The agent, accustomed to the ups and downs of a volatile market and needing to build clients from scratch, is far more resilient to a market collapse than the government worker, who might be utterly devastated when a big fire like a pension crisis or massive department cuts hit, precisely because they've built no personal resilience through constant adaptation.
The hustler is more adaptable.
Right. Similarly, a freelance writer, always hustling for gigs and used to navigating uncertainty, is far more equipped to bounce to the next thing if the print industry collapses than a staff editor who relied solely on a dependable, stable income.
So embracing small risks builds resilience.
That's the core idea.
So what's the actionable advice here for you, our listener? Without frequent contained risk-taking, you are, perhaps unknowingly, setting yourself up for a major dislocation at some point down the line. The book urges you to actively introduce shocks and disruptions manually into even the most stable jobs by aggressively creating opportunities. Join new groups, put yourself in motion, take on challenging side projects, and yes, always hustle. In a powerful, simple phrase, say yes more.
Lean into discomfort sometimes.
Exactly. So for you, our listener, here's a profound challenge to immediately put this into practice. For a full day or even a full week, default to yes. Just say yes to conference invites, to unexpected side projects, to new experiences that come your way. Observe how your network reacts to this newfound openness and, more importantly, how you react and what new opportunities emerge from the simple shift in mindset. Finally, we arrive at another cornerstone of the book's philosophy: network intelligence. Who you know is what you know.
Such a critical piece in today's world.
Absolutely. In today's rapidly evolving world, simply being able to read, write, or efficiently search for information on Google or, ChatGPT isn't enough. Knowledge is dynamic, it's perishable, it's constantly in motion. And the true competitive advantage lies in your ability to access information precisely when you need it.
Exactly. Bill Gates famously wrote that the most meaningful way to differentiate your company is to do an outstanding job with information. The book brilliantly extends this idea to the individual. It argues that network literacy is the bigger advantage, the sophisticated ability to connect to other human beings in your network to pull dynamic, real-time intelligence from them.
So it's not just what you know, but who you know who knows.
Precisely. It's not about stockpiling static facts in your head. It's about accessing living, breathing, current knowledge through people. Consider the impactful story of a book editor who, after being laid off from a traditional publishing house, used her existing network to find an unexpected opportunity doing press outreach and social media marketing for a literary PR company.
Pivoted through her network.
Yeah. She leveraged her existing skills in a new context through a crucial introduction from a trusted colleague. It just proves that who you know is often critical to what you know and ultimately what you can do.
So how do you effectively pull this vital intelligence from your network, making it a strategic asset? The book suggests sorting your connections into 3 incredibly valuable categories, each serving a distinct purpose.
Okay, the 3 types.
First, domain experts. These are the pros who truly know the topic at hand inside and out. If you have a question about salary negotiation, you ask your lawyer friend, not your college roommate, right?
Right tool for the right job?
Second, the people who know you well. This could be your mother, a childhood friend, a longtime mentor. They may not be industry experts, but they understand your priorities, your unique personality, your personal history. They help you unpack confusion, anticipate your emotional reactions, and intuit how you'll truly feel about different outcomes. They offer invaluable self-knowledge.
The personal advisors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Third, just really smart people. These individuals may not be experts in your specific field, nor know you intimately, but they offer exceptional analytical horsepower and entirely different perspectives. They're the ones who might say something completely different from what you've heard elsewhere, challenging your assumptions and opening new avenues of thought.
The outside perspective. And a truly crucial component of this, one that's often overlooked, is asking good questions. As Charlene Begley, a senior GE executive, candidly shared, she thrived in incredibly diverse roles simply by asking a lot of questions.
Curiosity pays off again.
Always. The book offers practical tips for mastering this art. First, converse, don't interrogate. Engage in a spirited back and forth. Offer your own thoughts or perspectives to encourage reciprocity, especially with peers. Don't just pepper them with questions.
Make it a dialogue.
Exactly. Second, adjust the lens. Use wide lens questions to figure out broad criteria or strategic direction, like how important is graduate school for architecture today? Then, use narrow lens questions for specific factual answers, like how highly rated is Cornell's graduate program for urban design?
You lean and zoom out.
Perfect. Third, follow up and probe. Don't be afraid to ask too many questions. Good interviewers do this constantly. Dig into qualifying words like risky or not a lot until deeper, more nuanced answers emerge. For vague concerns, don't rely on email. Engage people in person for long, open-ended conversations to truly tease out the underlying issues. It won't make you look ignorant. It will make you look curious, thoughtful, and intelligent.
Dig deeper. Okay, once you've pulled all this incredibly valuable information from your network, the next critical step is to analyze and synthesize information.
Bringing it all together.
Right. Just like NOAA, scientists collect readings from multiple sensors to predict a tsunami. You need to collect diverse readings from various people in your network. Then, crucially, analyze validity and bias. Everyone, without exception, has biases, whether conscious or subconscious.
Everyone's got an angle, even if they don't realize it.
Exactly. A friend recommending a job because they'll get a referral bonus is a transparent bias. A friend pushing career choices that uncannily mirror their own is a more hidden but equally impactful bias. You absolutely must account for these biases in your analysis to get a true picture.
Consider the source.
Always. Finally, synthesize the information. Reconcile contradictory advice, intelligently ignore off-base info, and weigh each person's input differently based on their expertise and bias. It's about taking in the big picture, piecing together disparate puzzle pieces into a coherent strategy. Catherine Markwell, for example, received advice to work at an established nonprofit first. But when an opportunity arose through her network, of course, to relaunch an existing foundation, she smartly synthesized that initial advice with the new opportunity, finding a middle ground that offered both invaluable learning and significant leadership.
Nice. Finding the synthesis. Ultimately, network intelligence is the advanced game. Doing it well consistently gives you an undeniable competitive edge. It's challenging to identify the right people, ask truly useful questions, and then synthesize complex, sometimes conflicting information into an actionable strategy.
It takes practice.
It does. And while your network can illuminate possibilities, offer validation, and help you decide on a direction to move quickly, the book makes it abundantly clear. Only you can make the final judgment call. You are the CEO of You, Inc., and you drive the process forward, using your network as an invaluable dynamic intelligence resource.
The buck stops with you. Okay, for you, our listener, here are some final network intelligence challenges directly from the book, designed to sharpen your ability to leverage your connections.
Last set of challenges.
In the next day, adjust your LinkedIn newsfeed and your Twitter follows to actively show the most helpful forward-looking information for your career. Go further. Save specific search queries on relevant topics so you're always getting fresh insights delivered to you.
Curate your information flow.
Exactly. In the next week, map out whom you truly trust on different topics. Who's your absolute go-to person for technology insights? For complex interpersonal issues? For market trends, make a list of 2 to 3 top issues you're currently thinking about and keep specific questions about them in your back pocket for your next conversations.
Know your advisors.
Yep. Lastly, make it a habit to post one insightful article each week to an email list, your blog, your Twitter feed, wherever. Actively engage your network and offer them a valuable small gift of information. This isn't just about taking, it's about giving back and nurturing the ecosystem.
Be a node of value yourself.
Exactly. Wow, what an incredible deep dive through the startup of you. From embracing a permanent beta mindset to strategically building a diverse and dynamic network and intelligently navigating risk. This book truly provides a new, essential blueprint for career success in our rapidly changing world.
It really does shift our perspective, doesn't it? From thinking about a fixed destination to embracing a dynamic, continuously evolving process. The idea that we should actively introduce those small burns of contained risk into our careers to build resilience against potential big fires, that's a powerfully provocative thought. It encourages proactive adaptation rather than just passive stability. And the emphasis on IWE, that your individual success is so deeply intertwined with the support, insights, and opportunities derived from your network, that's not just invaluable, it's fundamental. You can't do it alone.
Indeed. So to all of you listening, we really challenge you to let the powerful ideas from this book transform your life. Start tapping into your network with intention, invest aggressively in your skills and assets, and begin forging your own truly differentiated career path. As the authors wisely say, the trick is to never stop starting. The startup is you.
Love that closing line.
Me too. We highly encourage you to pick up The Startup of You by Reid Hoffman and Ben Casnocha. It's packed with even more insights, stories, and actionable advice that will undoubtedly inspire your entrepreneurial journey.
Definitely worth the read.
Absolutely. You can also connect with the authors and a vibrant community of other professionals in permanent beta at www.startupofu.com and on Twitter at startupofu using the hashtag #StartYU. They actively engage with readers and promote the best questions and ideas from the community, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, building the network around the book itself.
Exactly. So as we conclude this deep dive, here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over. If your career truly is a startup, constantly evolving and adapting, what's the one pivot you've been avoiding because it feels too risky? And what small reversible bet could you make this week to just test that hypothesis?
Good question to leave people with.
Thank you for joining us on the Playing Books podcast. We hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about and actionable steps to take right away. If you enjoyed this conversation, please follow, subscribe, and share the Playing Books podcast with someone who needs these powerful insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep building your incredible startup of you.